What is the connection between us and this very strange story of a man who steals and doesn't have enough money to pay, is therefore sells himself as a slave to work for somebody else to pay back his theft? What is this theft? When we view the physical things and even the spiritual things that are in our life as ours, the Kabbalists refer to it as kinyan atzmi, my personal property. When we view what we have as mine, what we're doing with that thought, with that consciousness, we're saying it's not the Creator's anymore, it's not the light of the Creator, it's mine, and therefore we are stealing from the Creator. When we look at what we have in our lives, the gifts that we have, it could be money, it could be possessions, it can be ability, it could be wisdom, it could be family. When we view those things that are in our lives as ours, that consciousness is a theft from the light of the Creator. What happens when you steal from the Creator? Realize that almost every worry that you have, every fear that we have is what? Based on what? This is mine, and I am worried that somebody is going to take it, or somebody is going to do something to my things, based upon this original theft. And therefore I worry all day. A person worries all day and night. What's going to happen? Somebody's going to take it. What if they're trying to take it? Are they trying to take it? Let me get upset at them. They might be thinking of trying to take it. Do you want to know where all your doubts in life come from? What is the energy that supports all the doubts that we have in our lives? It comes from this original theft in consciousness. All of our strength, all of our power, we are meant in our nature, our DNA is of the Creator. Our DNA is meant to be the most powerful force in this world, to heal, to bring blessings. We are born with the ability to be the most powerful beings in this world. But when we steal in our consciousness, when we start viewing mine, 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 we lose our tkifut, as the Kabbalists call it, our strength, our power. That's the second thing that happens. And the third, and as you follow the story in the Torah, it says, if you steal, v'nimkar b'gnevato, then you are sold as a slave to somebody else. When you are stealing in your consciousness, which is what you're saying, this is mine, not the Creator's, you are moving away in your consciousness from the Creator. It is not that the Creator now wants to punish you, but you have made a choice. You have decided, I am separate, my things are separate from the Creator's. You can no longer receive, as the Kabbalists call it, directly from the Creator. What's called panim befanim. The Kabbalists explain that there are different levels of connection that we each have with the light of the Creator. The ultimate, the highest level, the purest level of connection, and therefore the greatest amount of blessings and light that we can receive is when we are face to face, in a spiritual sense, when there is nothing in between, nothing intervening ourselves and the light of the Creator. But then when a person starts and continues and bases his entire life on the consciousness of mine, he says to the Creator, I will not receive direct light from you. All kinds of intermediaries through which we can receive things, but no longer directly from the Creator. Maybe we'll need assistance, chas v'shalom, from a doctor, from a lawyer, from consultants, from all kinds of other people. We have sold ourselves through this theft as slaves to these people. And therefore it says, v'nimkar b'gnevato, when a person begins with this theft of consciousness, he therefore is sold, meaning he creates intermediaries between himself and the light of the Creator. He has decided that he will not receive direct light from the Creator. It will come through other people. That is the secret of selling ourselves as slaves. This is what happened originally to Adam. Before Adam even came into this physical world, he was created in perfection, as we all are. But then he began stealing in his consciousness. He began thinking, wow, some of this is mine. And therefore he fell, and we all fell into this world where we have to correct it. That is the only way, as we'll see, that you can actually hold on to light in the gifts that we are given. when we live with that theft of consciousness. All doubts and fears begin to enter. We lose our power, our strength, and we make it so that we can no longer receive panim befanim, face to face, direct light from the Creator. That there is mind and there's the Creators, there is a separation, and that separation makes it so that there have to be these intermediaries. We lose so much by this theft of consciousness, by this consciousness of mind. In the Tikkunei Zohar, there is a section here where Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai, the author of the Zohar, is having a study with his son Rabbi Elazar, and they are revealing great secrets. There are 3 levels of man. Each one of us, it can exist on 3 different levels. Adam devarale ilat ha'ilot b'diok nadile. There is the perfect I, Adam Kadmon. There is the perfect version of ourselves that the Creator created in the beginning. That I, that reality of ourselves, Satim veganiz, for the most of us, it is still concealed. Adam Tinyana, the second version of ourselves, Chav v'machshava. That's the version of ourselves that has began the theft in consciousness. We begin looking at things in our lives and start taking them in as mine, mine, mine. Adam Tlita'ah, the third and worst version of ourselves, which is the version most of us probably know very well. Chav b'maseh, that not only has fallen in this theft of consciousness, but acts upon that theft. Hurts other people, lashes out at other people, gets angry at other people, gets jealous of other people, because they have, how dare they even think about touching mine. We cannot come to bila amavet lanetzach, we cannot come to removal of death personally and globally until we have removed from our consciousness this theft. You can receive light, sure, but to connect to the ultimate perfection, to the ultimate light, for the real purpose for which we came into this world, it is impossible as long as we maintain this theft in consciousness. But Brandwein writes, when they spoke about the perfected man, they came to that level. They received that light, they received that perfection, and they were there. The B'yat Melech HaMashiach. The Torah tells us, continues in the verse and says, Shesh shanim ya'avod. After you've stolen, after you've made for yourself all kinds of masters, how do you correct this theft of consciousness? Work on the level of 6 years. What is the secret of 6? The Zohar reveals to us that whenever the Torah speaks about the number 6 years, it's referring to the level of Yesod. What do we know about Yesod? The spiritual realm of Yesod. It is the place through all light, all blessings flow through. Joseph the righteous. In his life he came to control literally all the money of the world when he was the ruler in Egypt. The code word for Yesod is kol, everything. Quite a paradox. On the one hand, the Torah is telling us, let go of mine. Then it tells us, how do you correct it? By shesh shanim yavod, coming to this level of everything. You have to break the consciousness of mine, the theft in consciousness, in order to be able to come to a level of Yesod, which is where you actually want to be a conduit for everything, but none of it mine. As a matter of fact, you cannot come to be a conduit for Yesod, which is more and more, to share more and more, to give more and more, unless you've broken the consciousness of mine. How did Joseph come to control all the money in the world? How did he come to control the entire world, both monetarily and politically? Because he had broken all consciousness of mine. It's quite a paradox, but it's really the secret for which we came into this world. As long as we hold on to consciousness of mine, yeah, we can have some things, we can do some things, we can have some light. But we cannot come to our perfection. We certainly cannot come to the end of the correction, our personal correction and the world's correction. But while we are breaking that consciousness, we also have to simultaneously build the consciousness of Yesod. Because as the Torah tells us, Shesh Shanim Ya'avod, the correction for theft in consciousness of the thought of mine and mine is to come to the level of Yesod. None of it is mine, but everything will come through me. And you cannot come to that level unless you've broken the theft in consciousness. And therefore all, as we said, the worries and the doubts come from that. How can they do that to my things? Are they going to take my things? Are they going to damage my things? And we go on and on and on. And our entire life is based on this theft. But we have to remind ourselves is we create three great damages when we continue to think in this consciousness. All doubts and worries come from this theft in consciousness. We lose our tkifut, our strength, through this theft in consciousness. And we do not allow the light of the Creator to shine directly to us, panim befanim. We create other masters for ourselves. We have to receive the light from all different other places, the blessings from all different places. He said it's not about having nothing, it's about having everything, and it's the only way to have kol, and have everything, but with the right consciousness. You can have something, some light, some blessings with this theft in consciousness, but not everything. The level of Yesod, the level of having even greater and greater, but never mine. Only because I'm going to use it to share, only because I'm going to use it to give. Every single time we see somebody doing something negative, we have done that. It is still with us. And if we judge them, we make that weight heavier on us, and our spirit gets deader. And that's why we can't judge. Because we don't want to make our klipot, our shells, heavier upon us, to restrict the breath of our soul even more. That's the first understanding. A second, throughout a day, we have opportunities. 5 opportunities to share, to do something that I know I should do but don't want to. And 5 opportunities to fall, to do something negative that I know I shouldn't do but really want to. Let's take the positive. Today somebody's asking us to do something, or there's something that we know we should do but we really don't want to. Why don't you want to? Where does that heaviness come from? Because you were supposed to do it 20 years ago, and 2 incarnations ago, and 3 incarnations ago, and 10 incarnations ago. And all of those shells are waiting today. Are you going to correct us? But the weight of them is holding you back. I really, really don't want to. The more you don't want to do it, that means the longer the strain of those shells in previous incarnations is weighting you down. Now if you push yourself to correct it, you lift all of those up. And your spirit becomes more alive, and your spirit becomes lighter and more connected. If you don't, you've now added one more, and it's just a little bit heavier. And the same about negative actions. Today you're going to have, or you have a desire to do something really negative. An action of desire to receive for the self alone. Where is that coming from? Because you did it 30 years ago and 10 incarnations ago. And all of that, those klipot, those shells that are upon you, are saying, do it, do it, do it. If you do, you've added one more. And that just gets a little bit heavier. And when are you going to have the opportunity to remove those? Maybe in 5 years, maybe in 100 years. And this is how we have to look at our day. Our day is perfect. In any given day, we have the opportunity to lift not just klipot shells from this lifetime, but from previous lifetimes. And if we fall, we don't just fall from this moment. We've fallen from 5 incarnations ago, and 10 incarnations ago, and 15 incarnations ago. It's serious. And you don't know, because every day is set up perfectly. This person is coming because, and to awaken me, to anger me, or to do whatever it is, because if I could see back, I'd see 3 years, 100 years, 1500 years, all waiting. These klipot don't want to be upon us. We brought them, we're holding them down with us too. And they're saying, are you going to lift all of this up today? And Bezat Hashem, may we merit, as Rabbi Shimon Bar Yochai tells the friends, Idan Hacha Legala Razin Digilgula. It is the time for us to be awakened in a deeper way to a connection to our incarnations, and through that connection have the ability to fight through and correct them.